And welcome back, everyone, to the Bulldog Blitz football radio show presented by Two Hats Ranch. Rob Bentley and Sandy Golston with you. And we're joined by Ferris State University defensive back Mike Edwards. And Mike, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here with you, too.
I know this past week, obviously a great road trip to American International, a big game, both for the offense and also for the defense. Maybe just talk about the team performance this past Saturday.
Dominant. That was one thing that we stressed in practice last week. Knowing that playing the team last year at American International, knowing a little bit of what they had, and we just wanted to dominate across all parts of the game, and I think we did.
Maybe talk about your performance individually. You obviously got a ton of repetitions out there, and maybe just talk about what you were able to do on the back end of the Bulldog defense.
Yeah, I'm getting more reps each and every week, and just trying to take advantage of those reps, get my nose in towards the ball, and make plays and get that ball back for our team any way I can.
I know, obviously, on the defensive side, you guys kind of like on the offensive side, a lot of playmakers, a lot of guys with a lot of talent, and certainly it's very competitive, I know, in practice, just to get some of that quality playing time.
Yes, sir. It's super competitive. We don't have starters necessarily, so it's just every man for himself out there, everyone trying to compete for a job.
Before we get into talking more about the season and what's coming up, maybe talk about your journey to Ferris State, how you ended up becoming a Bulldog.
So I'm from South Florida, and coming out of high school and COVID, it stopped a lot of opportunities for dudes in my class because there were guys hanging back in college and taking their extra year. So I got a call from Coach Hodges, Coach Anise one day, and told me to come tour the school. Came up, seen snow, seen what all this, seen what Ferris was about, winning, just the culture, love, family, and it drew me towards here.
What's it like being one of those guys from Florida? It seems like you look at the roster, there's obviously guys from Michigan, but there's a lot of guys from Florida here on this team.
Yes, sir. I think that Coach Anise loves recruiting down there because of just the competitiveness down there, the culture, just what we bring to the table.
Before I give it to Sandy, I'll ask one more question here. As you look back at where the defense started the season and where you're at right now, maybe talk about the growth of the Ferris State defense, and obviously you guys are playing at a very high level right now.
For sure. I think that's one of the biggest things coming into this season was just about growing each and every week, and I've seen it with my own two eyes since week 1, now at week 4, a tremendous amount of growth, and we just got to keep going from here.
And just tell us a little bit, when I was a younger guy, that's when the Miami Hurricanes really took off in the 80s. And I used to watch the Hurricanes. And even being a Michigan guy, that was watching the Hurricanes was sweet. And they had some great battles with Florida State. What is a Florida college football player like? Whether they go to one of the big schools in Florida, tell me what makes Florida football players special.
So I would say that a Florida college football player plays with a chip on his shoulder. Being from down there, it's a ton of guys with talent, and it's a ton of guys coming to take your spot every single day when you go out, and it's high school. So going to the next level, it's like, I know what I got to be. I know I got to be the best, and it's a push for the best every single day.
Yeah, and it looks like, watching, 30 for 30, watching the U. It's like, parents getting after little kids, it's just ingrained. Is it really ingrained in you that young?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Me, Jay Pay, another defensive back on the team, I know we've been playing since we were 5, 6 years old, and that's competitive football. That's against dudes bigger than us. We were playing up, and it's just what comes with the game.
And then talk about, coming to Ferris State and, some of those early times when I saw you early in the preseason, I'm like, man, how are you feeling about being back? And you were really excited because you went through some adversity last year. And talk about, that adversity last year and maybe how that iron sharpened iron and you were ready to come back this year.
Yes, sir. I mean, I'm on year 4 and I've been through two knee surgeries now up here. So, yeah, I've seen a lot of adversity. It's just about this team, and I want to be great for them. It's not all about me anymore. My time is, and it's minute left. We got young guys here that want to win, and I've got 2 championships. I want to make it 4. I want to go get 2 more, and so it's just about that. It's about pushing through and finishing the job.
And talk about that defense, because you got a lot of Florida attitude on that defense, because you guys came out even in week 0, and obviously not the result that we wanted as a team in week 0, but this defense has really come out to play. And you mentioned it's not really starters. There are a bunch of guys that you could just go, however many strings you want to go down, guys are coming in and playing hard.
Yeah, I mean, it's an attitude that we've taken this preseason before the season, knowing like we want to be the best in the nation, knowing what this defense has done in the past and the older guys who we've seen play, and it's following in their footsteps and being as dominant as we can be. And those coaches, they're on us every day about it.
And, when you look at each of the games played, and you guys have only given up 2 touchdowns all season so far, I mean, that's just, tremendous dominance. But what I really liked, looking at the Lake Erie College game, looking at the Ashland game, you guys didn't let up. Like, you guys kept that attitude. You guys kept that dog really from start to finish.
Yeah, I think Coach Anise is he's making that an emphasis for us this season is don't let up, foot on the gas, all 4 quarters, no matter who's in. It doesn't matter if it's all freshmen, all starters. Doesn't matter if we're playing the cheerleaders. We're going full speed.
And you guys, certainly you guys get a chance to, you probably get a chance to take a look at cheerleaders too, but you guys get a chance to see your offense. And obviously it was a big shakeup when Carson went down. But what have you seen from the offensive guys? Because, Trinidad, really kind of has really stepped his game up. What are you seeing from a defensive guy looking at the offense?
Yeah, just looking at the offense, losing Carson was a huge thing to this team, but I just think that they picked up and they handled that situation so well. I think that all the guys came to work the next week knowing that we lost one of our biggest offensive weapons and knowing that they have to step up. And Trinidad's done an amazing job these last 3 weeks.
And what about you guys as a team? Because, obviously losing to Pitt State was tough. You guys take on a week 0 challenge. And obviously we didn't have to do that, but we embraced tough competition at Ferris State. What was the mood like? Because it wasn't, you guys were not pointing fingers. It was almost like you guys were maybe more frustrated that we let it get away. What was the mindset like? Because you guys really turned it around against Lake Erie, and since then you guys have been grinding.
Yeah, I don't think anyone looked back and really sulked and was sad. I think it just lit a fire and made us more angry, knowing that we shouldn't have been in that situation, knowing that we're better than that team every day. And so, yeah, it just lit a fire under us, and it made us want to go harder.
Mm-hmm. And the last question before I kick it back to Rob, what does Mike Edwards bring to that secondary there? I mean, because, you mentioned Jay Pay back there, and he's having an incredible year for this team. But what do you bring back there, and what's that group back there like? Because, you guys are the eyes. You guys are seeing a lot of stuff back there. And just tell me about what you bring back there and what that group brings back there.
Yes, sir. Personally, I would say Mike Edwards, myself as a person, I bring relentless effort, tenacity. I'm looking to punish the ball carrier every single time. I'm looking to make plays, ball hawk. I let a few plays get away from me, and so I'm on every single one from here on out.
And then one last question before I kick it back to Rob. I'm going to sneak in one more question. They talk about, in football, they talk about contact courage. And you definitely have that. Tell me, have you always had that? Because you're not afraid to kind of, stick your nose in there and make that big hit.
Yeah, I got 2 older brothers, and ever since I was, they're a lot older than me. So ever since I was young, it was just always basically contact, going in and putting your head down and seeing who's going to come out. And I like me to come out every time.
There you go.
Mike, I know you mentioned earlier we were talking about the offense. Just what's it like going against that offense every day when you got 2 of the nation's best going at each other every day in practice?
Yeah, I mean, iron sharpens iron. And so every single day when you line up against the best dudes, you feel like you're going to be the best, and you get better from it every single day. And so I love competing against those guys, and they are the best in the country, I feel like.
I know, obviously, you mentioned you were in your 4th year here. What are some lessons you try to teach to some of those younger guys, those freshmen that are just coming into the program here this fall?
I tell a lot of the dudes, just make sure your mental health during this redshirt year is good, because a lot of those dudes were starters, whatever, the biggest players at their school, and now they're here learning. And I just tell them, take it day by day, learn, take what you can, and don't try and force it, because your time's coming.
Finally here, before we let you go, talk about maybe life away from football. What do you like to do, and what are some hobbies you have kind of off the practice field or off the game field?
Off the practice or game field, life away from football includes football. I like watching football, a lot of football, especially NFL, college. I talk to my family a lot. They're in Florida. I miss them. Hang out with my teammates. That's about it.
Who's your NFL team?
Oh, Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah,
okay.
My mom's from Latrobe, so.
All right. Yes, sir.
I know, obviously, speaking of Florida, and I know we've got some guys from Florida with what's went on with the hurricane and the storms this past week, and I know our thoughts were with a lot of people down there. Any impact to you or your family?
My family's down south more. It hit up on the west side up by the Panhandle, so they weren't affected directly, but they all took precautions and got ready for it.
Good to hear. Final question here. Obviously, homecoming this weekend. What's it going to be like to take the field in front of what should be a great crowd here at Top Taggart?
Can't wait to get in front of our fans again, man. They're the best, and it's fun being in front of them and being able to represent Ferris in the right way, and I can't wait to do it.
Well, Mike, thanks for the time. We appreciate it, and go Bulldogs this weekend.
Appreciate you guys.
We'll be back with more of the Bulldog Blitz football radio show after this quick timeout on the Bulldog Sports Network.